Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider. An entire district in West Columbia gets rebranded. An old building is transformed into a new upscale business.
So there's a lot of history within these buildings.
But first, see what Gamecock team came up with a big season opening win. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ananda Kobierowski. Our top story today, South Carolina's #1 ranked women's basketball team starts their season with a bang on the road. They beat 5th-ranked NC State last night by a score of 66-57. Juniors Zaya Cook led the way with 17 points. The women are back on the road this Friday night against South Dakota. In other basketball news, the early signing period for both men's and women's basketball ends today. Dawn Staley's team has already had a commit in Talasia Cooper, the 2021 Gatorade South Carolina Girls Player of the Year. Next time you head downtown in Columbia or over to Forest Acres, you won't be required to wear a mask. The Columbia City Council unanimously voted last night to lift its emergency mask mandate. The mandate has been in effect since early September and was originally scheduled to end in December. Neighboring city Forest Acres shortly followed with the repeal of their own mandate. By the end of the week, South Carolina voters will know what their state Senate and House districts will look like. If these maps are approved, Richland County could lose a House seat. The map for all 124 districts is being redrawn based on the 2020 census. According to the state newspaper, the draft maps would combine House and districts 70 and 80, which are majority African American, and move one of the seats to Charleston, which is overwhelmingly white. The city of West Columbia is undergoing a major change within the past few months by instituting a rebrand into the River District. Our reporter Troy Dassing keys us in on what changes are taking effect.
West Columbia has been evolving constantly over the years, and even more so now with the massive rebrand to the River District and its aid in small businesses. West Columbia real estate investor and Columbia City Council candidate Joe Taylor says that the rebrand is breathing new life into the community.
I think what they're finally doing is marketing their place. I really like the independent businesses they're featuring, because what they're doing now is converting every one of these businesses from just being a business to being an advocate for West Columbia.
As of October, over 25 businesses are advocates of West Columbia, all of which are members of the West Columbia River District. A major component of the rebrand includes highlighting a different business each month in hopes of increasing business and growing the local community as a whole. This month, Primal Gourmet is being highlighted. Primal Gourmet owner and founder Greg Martin says that they've noticed an uptick in business since the rebrand and being the highlighted business of the month, and that the city of West Columbia has been a huge supporter of them. Ex officio board member of the River District and Councilman David Moy said there's a specific reason that Primal Gourmet is an asset to the community and why it was one of the first businesses to be highlighted.
Primal Gourmet was in the middle of a food desert when they came there. So they happened to click some boxes that made the immediate neighborhood near Primal Gourmet, kind of had an uplifting effect.
And with this uplifting effect, the West Columbia River District rebrand is aiming to strengthen business and community for years to come. For Carolina Insider, I'm Troy Dassing.
Across the Congaree River, new beginnings are taking place in downtown Columbia. Here with the latest in today's Soda City scene is our very own Elijah Toland. Elijah?
Thank you, Ananda. Due to COVID-19, businesses across Columbia have had to change the way they function, and some have even closed. But this makes ways for new restaurants, including Smote, an oyster bar opening up in downtown Columbia. According to Charlotte Knoop, VP of Branding and Marketing for the bar, the establishment is made up of 3 buildings from the 19th century and brings a new high-end seafood restaurant to the city.
And so there's a lot of history within these buildings. At one point, this used to be a grocery store. We had a cigar bar. We had a furniture store, a wig shop. So
Knoop says that Smoke is on soft opening, meaning that the bar area is open to patrons, and the official grand opening will be on November 16th. Even amongst closings and unconventional openings, businesses like Smoke continue to bring life to the city. And speaking of food, according to the state newspaper, the 10th annual World Food Championships will be coming to Lake Murray in April. That's a big deal for foodies and local tourism in our area. Back to you, Ananda.
Thanks, Elijah. Finally today, an alleyway in 5 Points is getting a fresh look that may prompt some of you to snap a picture or two. The newest mural is on the side of Bang Back Pinball Lounge, and it was free-handed by an Atlanta-based artist, Ebrion Barrett, professionally known as Cloud Cruiser. Barrett adds bright colors and his signature abstract design to liven up the area. USC's School of Art and Visual Design sponsored the artist, along with the 5 Points Association and the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here Friday.